Today we're going to talk about abusers, namely abusive men, but women can be abusive too, obviously. So, abusive men have very particular characteristics that are very easily spotted. So, if you know a young woman who is going to start dating soon, go ahead and share this video with her so that she can get to know what those abusive traits are and she can fucking avoid them like a real woman. Okay? So, the first thing about I've dated a myriad of abusive men. Okay? I really have. And I've known women who have dated very abusive women. And the very abusive women just kind of ape the abusive male behaviors, right? They copy it, unfortunately. But so, one of the tactics that abusive men have, one of the traits that abusive men have, is being very charming. A lot of them are extremely charming. They will say all the things that you want them to say. They will get at you in the ways you want them to get at you. I was recently talking to an abusive man, even me. Okay, luckily we're only messaging and talking on, WhatsApp. And he was super duper charming. He said all the right things, right? He says exactly the right things at exactly the right time. Okay, but he was like, telling me he loved my body hair, asked me when I'm gonna go bald again, like just being like, oh, you're so beautiful, da da da. And that's how they get you. That's how they hook you. They hook you with this, oh, you're so beautiful shit. And, which is true because y'all are all very beautiful, right? But, that's a major warning sign. I mean, that's just a pattern that I've noticed that men do. And it's pretty much always incredibly superficial. It's good to like someone, be attracted to someone, right? But, if that's all they're, ranting and raving about when first meeting you, warning sign. Someone should think it's really hot that you're super well educated. Someone should think it's hot that you have, this really important job, something like that. But these men are just like, oh, you're so sexy, da da da, because they know that's what you want to hear. Anyway, they're super charming. They want to say these things to you that just get you, that just hook you, right? So then once you're hooked, they work with that, right? So when you're hooked, then they can just you're like putty in their hands, honestly. Once they're hooked, you're hooked on them, he's hooked on you. They can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want, because at that point you're usually already invested in him. And let me tell you this, women, everyone, that if anyone you're interested in romantically says something to which your reaction is, hell no, he did not just say that. Hell no, she did not just say that. End the relationship. Get the fuck away from that person, because if they say one fucking thing that's really bad, guess the fuck what? They're going to say a bunch of other shit that's really bad. Okay? So, here's an example of this abusive piece of shit who I actually also mention in Secondhand Rape. He was from a very abusive household. He was a very abusive guy. And I was visiting him. I was at his parents' place, and his piece of shit father was also an abuser, obviously. But so we were driving around. I think we had just done something. I was in the car with his mom and his sister and him, and he was driving. We're driving around, and we were like, oh, let's go to dinner. And then they were like, okay, well, we could go here, we could go here. And I had never been to this piece of shit town. It was Salem, Oregon, by the way. I don't recommend going there. But so we were there, and he was like, oh, we could go here, we could go here. Leah, where do you want to go? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't been to either place. And he was like, choose. In a really aggressive way. He was like, choose. And I was like, don't speak to me that way. You do not speak to me that way. And I could tell that his mom and his sister were like, she just talked back to Evan. That was Evan. Hi, Evan. She just talked back to Evan. And I was like, yeah, I fucking did, because you don't fucking disrespect me like that. You don't say, choose. You may have well said, choose, bitch. No. I'll do whatever I fucking want. Fuckwit. Anyway. But it took me too long to get out of that relationship. So they'll say shit to you like that, right? They will say absolute shit to you like that. And it's just, it's super like disorienting, right? Because like these guys said all these nice things to you first, and they're so sweet, and they've done this, that, and whatever for you. That's another thing they'll fucking do for you, is they'll buy you shit. They'll buy you nice things. They'll take you out to nice places, da-da-da-da-da. And that also gets you hooked, right? So then you're already in it. Then it's kind of too late to pull out, because you're too late to back out, because you're in it. You're in the abusive relationship. And so, yeah, they'll also do what are called mind games. They will do absolute fucking mind games with you, where, like, they'll say something really rude, and you'll be like, I guess it's gaslighting, but it's like gaslighting of the, like, it's like Olympic gaslighting. So they'll say something to you. Here's something that a spoodrag said to me one time. He told me to shut up in a really rude way. And I was so mad that I left his house immediately. And then, like, the next day, I was like, so yesterday you told me to shut up, and it was really rude. And you can't speak to me that way. Like, does your dad speak to your mom that way? And he was like, I never told you to shut up. I would never say that to you. You don't deserve that. I was really young at the time, but like I just didn't connect the dots. I was like, what is this fucking guy doing to me? Like, what is he doing to me? But so, yeah, that's what they'll do, okay? But so, along with the, like, things that they say that are like, oh, hell no, that's a warning sign, GTFO, from that guy. But eventually, they will say or do something even bigger that's way worse than just, like, you know, a rude-ass comment, okay? They'll, like, freak out at you or whatever the fuck. This spoodrag I was talking to last year, who was abusive AF, I asked him one time if he could do hair, because he said he wanted to have kids. And I was like, okay, well then, like, wouldn't you do your daughter's hair if they needed their hair done? And he was like, men in my country don't do hair. And I was like, well, that's a pretty broad fucking statement, considering your country is an entire fucking humongous group of people, and I truly doubt that there's 0 men there that know how to do their own children's hair. And he was like, oh, well, how would you know? You've never even been there. And then that's another fucking thing that they do, is they turn the tables on you. They turn the tables the fuck on you. I nixed that guy. I got him the fuck out of my life. I blocked him on every platform. Unfortunately, the other day I accidentally messaged him because I thought he was someone else. And this is on WhatsApp, where I guess I didn't have him saved. So I messaged the wrong person. I was speaking in Spanish, though. And, because yo hablo español. But so, because I thought he was my friend in Mexico. And I was like, I was just talking in Spanish, and then he responded in Spanish, so I thought it was her, right? And then he was like, but then, like, he said, like, I bet you're beautiful as always. And I was like, that's not something she says to me. But we kept talking, and then he was like, because he freaked out at me about the hair thing, right? But he was like, I just want to say that I'm so sorry for everything I said. And that's what they'll fucking do. That's what they'll fucking do, is they'll say sorry. I'll say sorry for the bullshit that they did and think that that's an acceptable action and that you'll just take them back. Don't take him back if he says sorry. Ditch his ass. Put his ass on the curb. Call the cops on him. Get him the fuck away from you. Get away from him. Okay, so he was like, I'm so sorry about everything I said and did. I feel so bad. Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I just love you. And I was like, hold on. You don't even fucking know me, dude. Don't tell me you love me. Don't tell me you love me. What? You don't know me. Stop. And then he turned the tables, obviously. And he was like, there's no need to be rude. And I was like, you are a textbook abuser and you're just trying to abuse me. You turn the tables on me and act like I'm the bad one for saying, don't tell me you love me when you don't know me. He was like, there's no need to be rude. I wasn't fucking being rude. It's rude to tell someone you don't even fucking know that you love them. Hello? And these things that are abusive, right? They're not always so like blatant. Like that was very blatant with Evan being like, choose, bitch. And that was very blatant with that other spoo drag freaking out on me, telling me that no man in his country could braid hair, could do hair. So those were obvious, right? But I dated this other loser who wasn't so obvious. They're very manipulative. That's another fucking thing, is that they'll like talk you into shit that you don't want to do. They'll just like talk you into things. They'll be like, oh, well, but I did this for you, so da da da. They'll try to like guilt you into doing things. This was the one time that I actually had to get physical with a guy, because he got physical with me. He didn't hit me, right? But that is a likely consequence of being with an abusive man, is that he will physically hit you, he will rape you, he will break your things. Okay, so that's why you need to fucking know what an abuser is like and get the fuck away from him. Anyway, I was really upset because he broke up with me or something. I don't know, we were fighting. By the way, if y'all break up, don't get back together. Just don't do it. Y'all break up one time, it's probably the right thing to do. So break the fuck up. Don't get back with him. Anyway, we were fighting or some shit, and I just wanted to leave because like we'd been fighting in my apartment, and I just wanted to get the fuck away. And I like called a friend, and I was like, can I come over? And she was like, yes, come over. And so we were in my bathroom, and I was crying. And he was like, you can't. I was like, I'm going to my friend's house. Like, get out of my way. Because he was standing in the doorway. He was standing right here. And I was like, I'm going to my friend's house. Get out of my way. And he wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let me through. He was like pushing me. He didn't like hurt me, but he's just like, I like tried to go. I tried to walk out my own fucking door because it was my goddamn apartment, dumb shit. And I was like, so I tried one time. And he like wouldn't let me go. He's like, you're too upset to drive. And I was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Get out of my way. And I tried again, and he didn't let me go. And I was like, you need to stop physically bettering me right now. And I tried to move again, and he didn't fucking let me, so I slapped him across the fucking face. I slapped him as hard as I fucking could. Backhand. It was like, get away. Then he moved. So like, but I don't want to do that, I don't want to be driven to that point. But that was all he fucking understood, so it had to happen. Violence is not a good thing. everyone. I didn't do it backhand. It was like this. It doesn't matter. You don't want to get violent with someone. You don't want a guy to get violent with you. Because that could have been a lot worse, right? I knew it wasn't going to get worse, though, because I knew this guy. But, like, y'all need to not be with abusive men. And y'all also need to not be with abusive women, okay? I don't care who you're dating. Whoever this person is, he or she cannot be abusive towards you. Because that is not a healthy relationship, okay? I was going to say something else about abuse. You know, a lot of these people are alcoholics. A lot of them are substance dependent upon some kind of substance. And, like, that's kind of another indicator. Not all of them, but, like, a lot of them are. And another thing to be mindful of here is, like, honestly, I'm going to say it because it's true. A lot of women like abusers. They do. I didn't like abusers. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what they were like. I didn't know the warning signs, right? So, and I was too young. They weren't taught to me. They were not taught to me. And, who the fuck doesn't come from some sort of abuse in this day and age? Y'all tell me. Like, chances are if your parents weren't abusive to each other, your grandparents probably were. If your grandparents weren't abusive to each other, your great-grandparents probably were, right? So, it wasn't taught to me. You know, maybe it was, but in, like, 7th grade, and therefore I didn't fucking remember, because I wasn't fucking dating in the 7th grade, duh. But so, yeah, I mean, if they're substance reliant, right, if they're substance addicted, then chances are their behavior changes while they're on some kind of substance, while they're drunk, while they're high, whatever, right? And sometimes it's like, oh, well, you know, oh, but he was drunk. Oh, but he was high. Like, I don't care. If he's abusive, if she's abusive, when she's high, drunk, or sober, get the fuck away. Get away. I think that's about it. So, get away from abusers, okay? Bye.